Hello, everybody. My name is Victoria, and I am your friends with benefits. It's interesting. I was just thinking that friends with benefits has such negative connotations. It means sexual for some reason. But I think I'm a friends with benefits. I have a friend with benefits, and my friends with benefits has a pool in their building, and that has come in so handy this summer. I mean, if you live in New York or anywhere in the tri-state area, you know how important having a friend with that particular benefit is, in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, anywho. Um, so this is I'm Victoria, and today I want to talk about something that happened to me. Last week we were celebrating my son's birthday. Upalo just turned 8. He's a little big boy now. And he wanted a limo ride for his birthday. That's what he wanted. We have weird parties because his birthday falls during summer break and all his friends are out of town. Everyone's traveling. So it's really hard to get everybody together. So he gets to do things for his birthday. He gets to take trips. He gets to have things that are his own. Very rarely. I mean, he has parties, but usually it's just like family and stuff. So this year I asked him what he wanted, and he wanted a limo ride. So I'm telling my friend this funny story about how he wanted a limo ride, and at first I was going to hook him up, but then my guy fell through because his birthday's fell on a Saturday. Saturday is prime day for limo rides. So long story short, we decided to go with the Tesla. He was okay with the Tesla because apparently the Tesla farts. I mean, not apparently, apparently. I mean, yes, the Tesla makes fart sounds. So he wanted to try that out. I rented a Tesla. And I'm telling this funny story. I'm like, oh my God, my son wanted a limo ride. I didn't ride a limo until I was 30. Ha ha ha. And she stops and she looks at me and she goes, your son is so spoiled. And I was taken aback. I'm like, oh my goodness, is my son spoiled? Am I raising a brat? And it bugged me. I don't know why it bugged me, but it bugged me. Like for days, I was just marinating on the fact that I am raising a brat. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, you know what? I'm raising a boy who knows what he wants. What is being spoiled? What is being a brat? I think being spoiled and being a brat are two different things. And I think very often the two words are confused, that are used to mean the same thing, but I don't think they're the same thing. My son knows what he wants. Yes, he always asks me every time I tell him we're going on a trip. His first question is, are we flying first class? Now, this is not because like he's ever flown first class. We've never flown first class. But in his mind, like he's watched, I don't know where he gets his ideas from. I've certainly never talked about it. I've never like pumped him up and said, oh, you know what, there's first class and there's business class, and then we're in coach. Like it's something that he's just picked up along the way. And he's obsessed with flying first class. So he'll always mention, oh, are we going first class? And I'll be like, no. And then he'll be like, oh, okay, but we're still going, right? Like for him, flying first class is something to aspire to. And the fact that he has these aspirations of riding a limo, of flying first cars, you ask him what his favorite plane, like you ask him what his favorite car is, he'll go into detail about what his favorite car is. You ask him about what he wants about first class, he will go into detail of which airline has the best first class and what first class entails and all these things. And I think that's just because, he's he has aspirations. He knows what he wants and he looks forward to these things. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for him to aspire to fly first class if I ever get to a level when, not if, when I get to the level when I can afford to make him fly first class, I will pay for him to fly first class. That does not mean he's spoiled. I don't think Obalo's spoiled. I don't think, maybe he is. There's a level of spoiledness that he has, and that's okay. I think the fact that he is responsible, that he's conscientious, that he cares about society and people at large, kind of like outweigh the fact that he's spoiled. Because I think a child can have everything that you give him. Not everything he wants, but he can have the finer things in life and not be spoiled. The idea that if a child flies first class and gets the good stuff and eats lobster for breakfast and gets all the things that we think are like high class, if that makes them spoiled, that is a fallacy, I think. I think that is like, as my mom used to say, that is the poverty talking, like we're like, those are for rich people. That's what the rich people do. I don't think if he wants to aspire to what the rich people do, to what the rich people do, if he wants to aspire to first class, there's nothing wrong with that. If he wants to, if he desires something that is worth having, if he's not comfortable flying in coach, good for him. Let him work hard, and one day he can pay for me and me, for him and me to fly first class all the time. But, so now I've reevaluated the whole thing. He may or may not be spoiled. And I should get off my high horse and stop cringing about the fact that maybe he is spoiled. We get to discuss things. I do all the whole gentle parenting thing. I do the American parenting thing. So we discuss things and he has an opinion and, like with me and I explained to him why I can't do this, why we can't fly first class. We discussed it. It's not just a standard no, but he's helpful around the house. He does his chores with no complaint. I'm always adding it, like now he's 8. It's a big milestone for us in this house. So every single birthday, I'm like, okay, these are your new chores. So now, he takes his laundry downstairs. He loads his laundry into the washing machine. He moves it from the washing machine into the dryer. Then he brings his laundry back upstairs. We're getting to the point where I'm trying to see if he will be folding his clothes or not. But he does chores. When I finish, he cleans the table. He wipes the table. He has chores, and I don't think that he is spoiled. But then again, I don't know. I'm bringing up an only child. And I think, he's my one child who I had, like, he's my treasure. So maybe I am spoiling him. But you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion, and that's okay. As long as I feel like I'm bringing up a decent human being. I am bringing up a human being who does not have a sense of entitlement. He does not, he wants to fly first class, I think, but he doesn't think that he doesn't deserve to fly in coach. Like he's not like, I don't want to get on a flight then if I'm not flying first class. Like, hey, we travel all the time. And he's never, not yet, flown in business class. It could happen. It could happen sooner than he thinks, sooner than I think. We'll see. But if my son is spoiled, I think I'm okay with that. And if I don't think he is. But if he is, I'm okay with that. So what are your thoughts? Are your kids spoiled? How do you gauge the spoiledness? Do you think my son is spoiled? I'm curious. It won't affect how I treat him or parent him, but I'm curious to what you consider spoiled. Looking forward to hearing your comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.